Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything and welcome back to the channel. And today guys, we are going to be taking a look at a certain individual who has been linked with FC Barcelona, that player being none other than Girona's Arnau Martinez. If you've seen the shorts already, or if you haven't, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to basically just take a look at who this guy is. So we'll get into quite a bit of depth as far as his play style and some of his stats from this season, and just seeing how he measures up to other players in his position, much better players, that is, well, by reputation. Anywho, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the man himself, Arnau Martinez. So for some of you, this might be your first time hearing his name. In case you do not know or you cannot guess by his names, Arnau Martinez is actually Spanish. He was born in Catalonia actually, and he plays for Girona. Mainly he played as central defender, but in the recent past he's been used as a right back, and he came up through La Masia ranks actually, but he ended up leaving Barcelona when he was just about 14 years old in 2016 when he left for L'Hospitalet, before then again joining Girona in September of 2018 as a 17-year-old. If my math is wrong, let me know. And yeah, brings us to present day where he is now, Girona, as a 19-year-old, where he's been a starter for them in La Liga, and he's had some, I would say, pretty decent performances for them. I mean, obviously there's a reason why Barcelona are right now being linked with him once again, despite the fact, of course, that Barcelona were linked with him initially in the summer transfer window. But there was a question of, how well would he adapt to life in La Liga. He's paying 10 million euros, maybe a bit too much of a stretch to sign a player like him. Well, as you can see here from, we're just going to make a lot of reference to FBref, and this is just right on the splash page, you can call it that, when you just open up that page looking at Arnau Martinez and everything that he has been able to accomplish so far in life. Like you can see, he's only 19 years old still, but so far in La Liga he's managed 11 appearances. During those 11 appearances he has scored 2 goals and he has created 1 assist, an XG of 1.3 and an XAG of 1.2, where he's managed 28 shot creating actions. So those are some things that you're going to want to take note of. GCA is of course goal creating actions. So we can see from this that he is relatively busy in the final third. But if we take a look here at his statistics, we could see that when it comes to things like XG and non-penalty XG in particular, and expected assists, shot creating actions, this guy right now is ranking in the 90th, 93rd, and 94th percentile for almost everything. Non-penalty XG is in the 99th percentile for right backs. So it lets you know that he's part of a very few number of right backs who are actually doing what he is doing, which is, scoring goals and creating goal scoring chances as well. We could take a look, of course, here a bit further, looking at his passing, and we can see maybe where we might have a bit of an issue with him, right? Because his pass completion rate right now sits about 80%, which is just about the 69th percentile. But yeah, if you're FC Barcelona, one thing that's interesting you quite a lot looking at his statistics here are his touches in the penalty area, which puts him at about 3 touches per 90 in the penalty area, and that is again a 97th percentile stat. So it's definitely going to be something that FC Barcelona will be especially excited about, because Barca is one of those teams where they believe that fullbacks should be more attacking than they should be defending, or something like that. Barcelona believes in having very attacking fullbacks. So now we've established that Arnau Martinez is a very attacking fullback. Where exactly does he fall in the spectrum of fullbacks in the world? Well, this site is kind enough to show us over here just a list of other fullbacks who are similar to Arnau Martinez, not Arnau Martinez, Barcelona's goalkeeper. Players who are similar to Arnau Martinez in his style of play. So I just looked at this list and I asked myself, who is the guy with the it factor? Who is the biggest name on this list? I just realized, let's compare this guy to Achraf Hakimi. So here's what we have in as far as comparison between Arnau Martinez and Achraf Hakimi. And just for a bit more excitement, I decided to throw in Alejandro Balde. So we'll start by looking at primarily the stats from this season, which is really the only season we can compare. Okay, so Arnau Martinez, Achraf Hakimi, and Alejandro Balde have played 11, 14, and 12 games respectively, with 10 starts for Martinez and 12 each for Hakimi and Balde. In those appearances, Arnau Martinez has managed 2 goals with 1 assist, Hakimi has managed 3 goals with 1 assist, and Alejandro Balde has managed no goals with 3 assists. So when we're looking at the stats per 90, when it comes to those assists, Balde is looking like he's very much killing this. But when it comes to those goals scored, of course, Hakimi and Arnau Martinez are clearly edging it there. But Arnau Martinez is pretty much hanging in there, considering the fact that he has played 3 less matches than Achraf Hakimi and has had 2 less starts. Looking at the shooting stats, you can see that Martinez and Hakimi, once again, there's a bit of a gap here. Okay, 9 shots per 90 for Martinez, 12 for Hakimi, but from those scoring 2 goals and 3 goals respectively, which means that when we're taking a look at stats like goals per shot on target, Arnau Martinez is managing 1, whilst Achraf Hakimi is managing 0.75. So basically, every time this kid hits a target, he scores, which is pretty interesting. Like we can see there with Balde, oh, he's got 0 goals, so like that one doesn't really count. But when we take a look now at passing, this is where we get a clearer picture here. So Alejandro Balde leads this one with 91.2% pass completion. Then in second place, we have Achraf Hakimi with Arnau Martinez sitting at 80% pass completion. And that's basically a trend which continues when it comes to short length passes, medium and long range passes. Okay, Alejandro Balde is more accurate with his short, medium and long range passing, whilst Achraf Hakimi is in second place and Arnau Martinez is once again in third. When it comes to what he does on the ball, Arnau Martinez shows just about the same efficiency with Hakimi when it comes to things like dribbling, you know, the number of times that he will attempt to dribble, the number of times he'll be successful with the dribble. It's just about the same. Alejandro Balde is, of course, like beasting in that category. And if we look at the touches that they take and which part of the pitch that they take them in, Arnau Martinez actually gets the most number of touches in the midfield area, which you can see is similar to what we're seeing with Alejandro Balde, as opposed to Achraf Hakimi, who gets most of his touches, or the most amount of touches, in the attacking third. So this just shows you that these are players who do like to get on the ball, to drop a little bit further back behind their wingers, probably in the systems that they play in, whereas Hakimi has to be that winger because, you know, Messi would pull inside and allow Hakimi to overlap on the outside. So the question now remains, how well could he fit in Xavi's system? We do know for a fact that Xavi likes asking his right backs to occupy that right central midfield area, oftentimes asking them to support from there. But then he probably does that due to the fact that the right backs he has had to work with recently haven't been too athletic. We're looking at Sergio Roberto, we're looking at Dani Alves. And these are both players who, of course, excel at passing the ball more than they do at going around the defender or, you know, running down the line. Something which Arnau Martinez happens to be quite useful at, which is running beyond his winger. So we could see him probably used a lot more like Alejandro Balde and Jordi Alba work down that left, or like Alejandro Balde was working with Dembele down that right wing just before this break. So he's a player who's capable of getting down and going beyond the opposition defense, you know, making those runs in behind. And he excels as well at taking shots at goal in order to score. Of course, his passing is useful as well. Like we've seen from his shot creating actions and his goal creating actions, he can find the pass, he can create scoring opportunities. So should Barcelona be able to get Arnau Martinez, they can probably look forward to having more of a Jordi Alba-like defender going down on that outside. But the biggest question that remains to be asked, of course, about Arnau Martinez is, can he defend? If you put this guy up against Vinicius, how well could he do? Well, pretty well apparently, because he did go there with Girona, and they managed to get a draw in the match during which Vinicius was, you know, relatively contained as he can be without Araujo on the pitch, let's put it that way. If we're looking at defensive actions, and as far as Arnau Martinez is concerned, he does lag behind once again both Achraf Hakimi and Alejandro Balde, depending on, of course, the type of metric that you're looking at. But one thing which he does seem to be good at doing is making tackles. Of course, he's tied with Balde here, we can see, for tackles, and Hakimi is, of course, a monster with those. Is like twice as efficient or twice as effective with those. So, you know, that's pretty good. His tackling, especially in the defensive third, we can see is where he does most of his tackling. He doesn't do much tackling in the attacking third, which would make sense if he's usually going to be overlapping. So when he is in the attacking third, he's not doing much defending over there. And when we look at the number of times that he is dribbled past, once again, he is just about in the middle of Hakimi and Alejandro Balde. Balde here, of course, has been dribbled past least, with Hakimi being dribbled past exactly 3 times more than Balde. But of course, one metric where Arnau Martinez does actually outdo both Achraf Hakimi and Alejandro Balde, and remember, this is with less minutes played, okay? He's only played 90 minutes compared to 12 for Hakimi and 10.8 for Balde. But in those 9 games that he has played, he has had 8 interceptions. He has had a total of 25 tackles and interceptions and 10 clearances, which, once again, when you average over the 9 games that he has played, is actually far much better than what we're seeing from both Hakimi and Alejandro Balde. So yeah, guys, that's basically that. That's Arnau Martinez. What do you think of him as a signing? Do you think FC Barcelona should sign him? You know, does he show you promise, in your opinion? And just generally, what kind of a signing do you see this being? Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like and hit subscribe. But other than that, have a great day and Forza Barca.